Today I want to share with you some concept about minimal invasive preparation. So I want to discuss with you and present to you a couple of burrs that are included in my kit LD1373, that is the direct kit. You know that I developed with Comet company some kits of burrs, and this kit is for direct restoration, and we have another one for indirect restoration. This one for direct is suitable for direct anterior and or direct posterior. What's happened many times when we have to seal a fissure also, because we have a very narrow cavity and we are not perfectly sure that we have to prepare the cavity because we have the mineralization and cavitation below that. We have to probe it. And how we can probe a very narrow cavity? For sure with a cavity test. To have a cavity test with inadequate burr could be very dangerous, because we can arrive to over-prepare. In that case, we have absolutely something that is not adequate in order to preserve hard tissue. So the first burr that I want to introduce you is the H10314-003. 003 means that the diameter of this burr, that is a round burr shape, is 0.3 millimeters diameter. So in this case, we can have a very narrow head, working head, that can penetrate, open a bit our very narrow and small cavity, and then we can decide if we have to go ahead with the cavity preparation or we have to stop in a very superficial preparation and superficial approach. Characteristic of this burr, the H1, are that you have a round head, but is not a diamond burr like the majority of the burrs that I included on my kits. This is a carbide burr. Why? Because thanks to the blades, we can also work with a very small working head like this. If we decide to have a diamond substrate, and so a diamond cover, we could have the risk that with this very narrow working area, we can lose easily the superficial diamond. Then you working with this head that is FG attachment. What is FG? Friction grip. So it means that it is good to be mounted on a turbine or on a headpiece red ring. So you can use it with both, but my personal suggestion is to work with this kind of burrs in restorative dentistry, to use with headpiece and piece red ring, so you can have multiplication of the speed, you can increase the speed or reduce the speed, and so also the aggressivity of the burr depends on the speed that you decide to work on. The second burr that I want to talk about in this video is 830007. So in this burr we increase more or less of the double the maximum diameter of the working head. This is a diamond burr with a medium grit, so 107 microns of diamond working part, and is quite aggressive, but is a normal grit for preparation. With this 830, so 830, we can work with a pear shape, and this kind of shape is very good, is prone to work in that kind of cavity, to increase the dimension of the cavity, going deeper in the enamel of our teeth and achieving the denting. So if the cavity is not so superficial, you can work with a more aggressive burr, and you can work and prepare much more this kind of cavity in this kind of way. So you can use both, but my suggestion is if the cavity is very, very small and very narrow, first of all, start with H1. Talking about H1, the last suggestion that I want to give you now in the anterior teeth could be in the finishing part of the superficial composite that you performed in the mouth of your patient. In this case, you can see during the finishing phase that some bubbles and some imprecision in the substrate of the composite are included. And during your finishing part, you can see that this bubble is coming on the surface. In this case, if you use a burr that is too much bigger compared the bubble that you have to eliminate, you destroy too much surface of your composite restoration. Thanks to this kind of burr that is very narrow, you can work just on the surface and then just eliminate the bubble, then you can recondition the surface. We will talk in another video about how to recondition this kind of composite surface, and then you can create a small repairing on this with a new composite, or you can just seal with some bonding. And so even in anterior restoration you can use this kind of burr, the H1. Finally, I want to resume that these two burrs are very, very useful in narrow cavities. The H1 is the best one to be very, very accurate in narrow areas and narrow spaces, and the A30 is much better in narrow cavities, but when you have to prepare much more and you have to enlarge and to work in removal of caries or old restorations. See you at next video. Thank you for follow this video of today. See you next time. Bye bye. Ciao.